દિલ્હીમાં ઉડારે ગુલાલ ગુલાબી રંગ કેસરિયા દિલ્હીમાં ઉડે.
So dear friends, very good morning. Today we will solve exercise 8.2, question number 1 and 6. 8.2, question number 1 and 6, page number 150. Before this, what we have read till now, all the theorems used in this chapter, these are 8.1. And before that, the definitions of parallelogram, two pairs of parallel sides, opposite parallel sides. After that, exercise 8.1, when the two theorems, the two triangles are congruent. 8.2, 8.3, in parallelogram, 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 opposite sides equal. The definition was opposite sides parallel, two pairs. And here opposite sides two pairs equal. This is the theorem, that was the definition. Okay, then opposite angle equal, and then diagonal bisect each other. Theorem 8.6, 8.7, diagonal bisect each other. So this will be used in question number 6. So come on the question number 1. We have another theorem 8.8, about which we have I have taught you in question number 12, 8.1 question number 12, use of it, 8.8, and the extension part of that one, concept. So you can see there. So 8.1 is one pair parallel, obviously opposite pair, one pair parallel, and the same pair is equal also. Actually 8.8 is mix of the definitions of parallelogram, means the two pair parallel, but here one pair parallel and the same pair is equal also, and this is the theorem, opposite sides equal. So they have mixed it, the definitions, and 8.2, 8.3, they have got 8.8. You can see in your book. After that, theorem 8.9, 8.10, this is called midpoint theorem. Midpoint theorem means it's a theorem about the triangle. So they were talking about parallelogram, and just come on the triangle. Why? Because the questions are different now. With the help of triangle, we can prove some properties of parallelogram, some properties of quadrilateral. So that's why it is given. Page number 148, theorem 8.9. The line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. And another one, 8.10, the line drawn through the midpoints of one side of a triangle parallel to another side bisect the third side. What does it mean? Let me tell. For the indication, I have written this one, 8.8, 8.9 and 8.10. You will write only midpoint theorem, so that will be enough. But what is midpoint theorem? Midpoint theorem, this is like this. Suppose you have any triangle. Suppose I take this triangle. You have any triangle. One, this. Suppose I have this triangle. This. I have this triangle. So three sides are there. Yes. So the 8.9, the theorem is the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle. This is triangle A, B and C. If you take midpoint of this triangle, AB side midpoint, AC side midpoint. So these are called the line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle. The line segment, this is the line segment, because end, it is not a line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third, means this is parallel to the third and half of it. Midpoint theorem means ABC, suppose I take it D and E. So what does it mean? D and E are midpoint of AB and AC. So DE parallel to BC and DE is equal to half of BC. This is the 8.9. And in the 8.10 inverse theorem, if we have taken already 2 points, suppose at the time we take only 1 point. So here the 2 points, 2 midpoint was given, and this was the line segment joining. Suppose at a time 8.10. Okay, let me draw here only for your understanding. At a time, suppose I take only 1 point, and I know this is the midpoint of AB. Here we have 2 midpoint, and then it was about the D parallel to, means it was given, here given was 2 midpoint, and it was then, this is then. But here in 8.10, 1 midpoint, suppose it is only D, given is, here 2 midpoint was, here 1 midpoint and line parallel to BC, means it is given now. Yes, line parallel to BC. So this point is not given in 8.10. What is written here in the book, page number 148? The line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle and parallel to the another side, this one parallel to the another side, bisect the third side, means this is the midpoint, this is parallel to this one, so this is the third side, and third side bisect, means what is given, 1 point and parallel, then you will get this is the midpoint. So here 2 midpoint was there, 2 midpoint here given, 1 midpoint and parallel line, then we have proved it, then this is the midpoint and this is E. So then E is midpoint. So very slight difference, but this is the opposite of this theorem, 8.9, 8.10. Okay. So this theorem will be used. This is 8.10 and this is 8.9. In question number 1 and question number 6. 8.2 question number 1 and question number 6. 8.1. The question is very easy if you know this theorem. But how do you know this theorem is right? So you can check by your practicals. What will you do? You will make any triangle, you will cut, or you may draw any triangle on your copy, just like I have drawn. This is almost. Then what we have done, what I have done, I have taken midpoint of this, and then I'll line joining. So you know, this is the triangle, na? I have done this. This is the triangle, and this is, you know, this. Actually, this is the two triangles. If you are observing, this is the little and this is the small. So if I cut half of this triangle, so this will get, you know, this is, I have cut half, so this side is half of this. Every side is half. Every side is half. This side is also half of this. But at this time, the area is 1/4. Area is 1/4. Why it is so? It's not any amazing thing. Okay, I may show you. This is one part, just like here. This is the one part. This is one part. Here 3 parts are there. If you take midpoint of this now, and you will join this, you will get 4 triangles, equal area. This 1, 2, 3 and 4. And here this is this 4 part, 1 part here. So 1 and 2. Then this is 3 and this is 4. This is 4. This is. So similarly here means all three sides are half, half, half. So area and this area will be discussed in class 10th. Till then it will be discussed in chapter number 9 of your chapter number 9. Okay. So I may say you this is this is the half of this BC. You can check it. This is 1 and this is 2, half of this. This. So and because the angles are equal, this angle will be equal to this. So this is parallel line. Similarly, so this is the 4 times, 1 here and 2 here. This is, now you can see this is again, this is the parallel of this one. Actually these are the both same color, so it's maybe problem for you to understand, but you can make by yourself. Okay, this type of triangle, half and then cut, and this is the practical you will do. Okay, so these things not happen only in triangle. Suppose you take any square, just like I have taken ABC. So if I take any square, its size was 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. So area was 4. If I take midpoint, here midpoint, this is midpoint, this is midpoint, this is midpoint, So if I will join like this 1 times and 2 times, this midpoint means this is 1, 1, 1, 1. So I will get 4 times of area. This is also a square, 1, 1, 1, 1. But the area is 1/4 midpoint. Okay, if you join this one, this and this. So in the square you will get what? In the square what will you get? Actually when you will do it, you will find this is also a square and between them is square. So this square will be half of the area of the earlier one. So this type of questions we have to solve in chapter number 9. So this question has been asked. Okay, so it's not a new thing. If you have 2 square means 4, and if you have 1 square means 1/4 here. Similarly 1/4 part means a then area is a square. When a by 2, then area is a by 2 square. A by 2 to the whole square means a square upon 4. A square upon 4. A upon 2 the whole square. When the side is a, area will get a square. When the side is half, so a upon 2 to the whole square means a square upon 4. Earlier it was a square, now it is a square upon 4. So this was the case. This happens with the parallelogram also, rectangle also, everywhere. Suppose it is a rectangle. This is suppose this is 6 and this is 2. Sometimes it's because I don't measure actually. Okay, when you take half of this midpoint, everywhere midpoint, so 2 times you can join. If you join this line parallel, so this will be parallel to this one and this will be parallel to this one, so you will get 4 parts, equal part. Why it is so? Means if I will join here, this is also a parallelogram, but area is 1/4, just like it, because the earlier area was 2 into 6. Now means length into breadth. This was the area. Now we have divided L upon 2 into B upon 2 means area is equal to LB upon 4, 1/4 part. So that is why 2 half means 1 and here 3. So it is only 3. So this 3, 3, 3, 3, 4 times division. So midpoints used in this type of questions. So this was the square and this. Okay, when you join this one, you know, rectangle, midpoints, all the rectangles, you will get what? Parallelogram. So the question is very interesting. If I will take any triangle, any quadrilateral and join the midpoints, what will we get? So 8.2 is about the same questions, about this type of problems. You can see in question number 2 and question number 3. This is 8.2, question number 2 and question number 3. A rhombus is there, and when the midpoint of a rhombus you join, you will get rectangle. In question number 3, a rectangle is there. You know, this is the rectangle. So in rectangle you will get, because its diagonals are equal, so this will the half of diagonals are equal na. So rectangles means when you join all the midpoints you will get rhombus, this. So this was the question, is 8.2, question number 3, rectangle and you get rhombus. In question number 2, rhombus, then you get rectangle. So let me focus on yes, and the question number 6. In the starting I have told you I will teach you the question number 6. So this was the only introduction. Now come on the question number 1 and question number 6. Question number 1, actually the figure is given, and in the question number 6 you have to draw the figure. There's only one difference. So midpoint theorem, a very interesting theorem. So I have taken this much space. Okay, question number 1. ABCD is a quadrilateral in which PQRS are midpoints of sides, so that this that. Okay, so ABCD. So let me make, you know, all the sides are different, all the angles, no any angles, everything is different. I am solving question number 1. So this is A, B, C and D. So ABCD is quadrilateral in which PQ, R, S are midpoints of sides AB, BC, CD and DA. AB means first, earlier the group is A, B, then B, C, then C, D, then D. So the midpoint start from here. This is P, then B, C, A, B, just like if you write A, B, C and D, quadrilateral. So this is the A, B. So AB midpoint is P, then B, C midpoint is Q, then C, D midpoint is R, and then D, A. This is D, A. So midpoint is P, Q, R and S. So this is the case. So this is P, then this is Q, then this is R and this is S. So this was the question. ABCD is a quadrilateral, any quadrilateral, and these are the midpoint. When you join, what will you get? This is the question number 1. When you join, what you will get? In question number 1, third part is there, PQRS. If you join PQ, P, oh yeah, I have done mistake. P, Q, R and S, that is Q. So PQRS is a parallelogram. Question number 1 in third part, it is asked to prove it. And in question number 6, what is given? Question number 6, it is not drawn any figure already. You have said, so that the line segment joining the midpoints of opposite sides of a quadrilateral. This is, so that the line joining the midpoints, these are P, Q, R, S. This S is not correct. This is Q. P, Q, R, S. These are the midpoints. So question number 6, so that the line segment means this line segment joining the midpoints of this. So it's very amazing, you know. This was all the sides are different, but here you will get equal opposite sides. So that is the question. That is the very good, beautiful mathematics. So that's why this question is given. So question number 6, so that the line segment joining the midpoints means PQRS of opposite sides of a quadrilateral means A, B, B, C, opposite sides of a quadrilateral bisect each other. So bisect each other, you know, when you will prove it in question number 1, when you will prove it, this is the parallelogram, the PQRS is a parallelogram, then you have a theorem. In parallelogram, diagonal bisect each other. Theorem 8.6 and 8.7. So that is the question number 6. In question number 1, half part is there. Prove it, this is the parallelogram. So this is the question number 1 and question number 6. Now come on, how will we prove it? So proving is very simple, you know. What we have to do? Midpoint theorem will be used here. This will not be used up now. Only midpoint theorem. All this question of 8.2 midpoint theorem. You join, it is joined in your book. Dash, dash, dash. Let me join also. This is a diagonal. If any quadrilateral is there and you draw any diagonal AC, you know, you get two triangles. Two triangles. What? Triangle ACD and triangle ACB. So this theorem will be applied, and this is this triangle ACD. This is the midpoint. This is also midpoint of this triangle. So we will apply this theorem 2 times. One time this and one time this. So it's very easy question. So question number 1 and question number 6. Some students have asked me to solve this question. So that's why I am solving. So it is given ABCD is this, that AC is diagonal, so that the first point SR parallel to AC. The first point, so you will write given. What is given? ABCD is a quadrilateral. It is not said, yes, ABCD is a quadrilateral. Okay. And PQRS are midpoints. PQRS are midpoints. These are given. AC is diagonal, so it's obviously AC is diagonal. What you have to prove? Prove the first number provement. The first number, okay, we will prove it. SR parallel to AC. Where is SR? You know, this is SR. This is midpoint, this is also midpoint. It is said these are the midpoint, PQRS. If this is the line segment joining RS, so midpoint theorem. So this line segment will be parallel to this diagonal AC and half of it. This is the theorem. So the first part, nothing is to prove. SR parallel to AC. SR parallel to AC. This is. And SR is equal to half of AC. There is nothing to prove. You will only write the theorem. So write here midpoint theorem. Proved. So no, you will write first only theorem. Theorem, midpoint theorem. Not only midpoint theorem, you will write the statement also. Midpoint theorem. And you will write proved. Because in midpoint theorem it is said, if any two midpoints line joining, this will be parallel to this one and half of it. So it is what? Okay. Then PQ is equal to SR. PQ is equal to SR. You have to prove it. Yes. So you have to prove it. You have written midpoint theorem for triangle A. Okay. So midpoint theorem we will write for triangle A, midpoint theorem. You know, proved, but you will write a midpoint theorem. Why you will write? The triangle ABC, the triangle ACD, the triangle ACD, and the triangle, we have triangle ACD and R and S are midpoint. R and S are midpoint. This is, and then midpoint theorem. Okay, second part. Now come on the second part. The second part you will write again. Similarly, in triangle ACB, ACB. What? PQ, P and Q are midpoint, are midpoints. So if this is the midpoint, so PQ is parallel to the same thing. So PQ is parallel to AC, and PQ is half of AC. This is the midpoint theorem. What? The line segment joining the two midpoints of any triangle is parallel to the third side and half of its length. So this is. So you are looking half of AC, half of AC. So if these are equal, so PQ is equal to SR. So combining these two equations, what you will get? PQ, this is PQ is equal to SR, and obviously is equal to half of AC. Half of AC, because and you will write Euclid. It is Euclid axioms. Means if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, if A is equal to B and this is B is equal to C, so A and C will be equal. This is Euclid axiom. So proved. Second part proved. And the third part included in third part. What is the third part? You have to prove PQRS is a parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram. So nothing to write. You have written SR parallel to AC. SR parallel to AC. This is parallel to this. This is parallel to this. So these are also parallel. Combining Euclid axioms. And you have proved it that PQ is equal to SR here in second part. So this is the parallel and the same is equal. Theorem 8.8. One pair parallel and the same equal. So nothing to prove anything else. These are parallel to AC, so these are also parallel and equal also. So 8.8, this is a parallelogram. AB PQRS is a parallelogram. Okay, so this is the second part. So only to write Euclid axioms is very important, you know. Okay, so third part you have to prove PQRS is, so SR parallel to AC from first part. Okay, SR parallel to AC, then PQ parallel to AC, PQ parallel to AC from second part. So combining AC, because both AC is common here, so SR parallel to PQ. This is what? Euclid axioms. Chapter number 5. Actually, chapter number 5 is removed now in your reduction. So this is the Euclid axioms, and PQ is equal to SR. Yes, this is what proved in second part. This second part, this in second part what you have written. So this is the parallel and the same thing is equal. So apply this theorem 8.8. One pair parallel and same pair equal. Hence PQRS is a parallelogram. Why? Theorem 8.8, if in a parallelogram, if one opposite pair, if one pair of opposite sides is parallel and the same pair is equal, if in a quadrilateral, so everywhere you will write, if in a quadrilateral one pair of opposite side is parallel, okay, write parallel, and the same pair what is the same pair here? This is PQRS. This is parallel to this and equal also. So theorem 8.8, and the same pair is equal also, then the quadrilateral is parallelogram. Then quadrilateral is a parallelogram. I have written, you will write also to get your marks. So this is the parallelogram and proved. PQRS, you will write this theorem, then you will write proved. In the last you will write proved. So this was the question number first, the 3 part. And come on the question number 6. So that the line segment joining the midpoints, everything is same, only you have to take the quadrilateral by yourself. Suppose any ABCD quadrilateral is there. Quadrilateral means no angle, no sides, all may be different. And the opposite sides of midpoints, you will take midpoints PQRS of a quadrilateral. Then you have to prove bisect each other. So before that you will prove this is the parallelogram, just like it. And then you will solve कि parallelogram, theorem 8.6, 8.7, parallelogram diagonal bisect each other. So this was the question number 1. And for the question number 6, everything you will draw, you will solve everything. Question number 6, you will draw the figure by yourself. Suppose that the triangle quadrilateral is ABCD and this is the midpoints of this one. Whole questions you will write. Then you will solve also this. You will solve what will you target? PQRS is a parallelogram. So there are the 3 parts. So you will follow the 3 parts. Ultimately you will solve parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram. And then 8.6 and 8.7 parallelogram diagonal bisect each other. So now the same question is question number 6 also. Question number 6, the same figure, same concept, and the midpoints of opposite sides of a quadrilateral bisect each other. Line segment means the question is further, you will prove it first, then if you join it, this RP and SQ, this. So they are talking about, this may happen that this is not pass through this one. Okay. So means this is bisect to each other, means this equal to this and this may be equal to this, and this happens in parallelogram. So the question number 6, same figure, same thing you will solve. You will first prove PQRS is a parallelogram, and then further you will write one more theorem. Yes, after this you will write parallelogram, then you will write and RP and SQ bisect to each other. Directly you will write. So RP means the line segment joining the midpoints. Question number 6, RP and SQ bisect to each other. This is. So RP and SQ bisect to each other. Theorem. You will write why it is proved. Theorem. This is theorem 8.6. What is in parallelogram? Parallelogram, diagonal bisect to each other. Diagonals bisect to each other. So proved. So this is the question number 6 also. So that's good. In one stroke you have learned 2 questions. So keep watching and subscribe, share to your friends. Thank you.